Hey guys, I've read a whole bunch of books in 2017 and I want to give you guys the best of the best in this video. So here's 14 lessons from 341 books. Number 1, it's easier to change your environment than your circumstances. Something I've learned in the past year is that a lot of times you can get mad about something, but it's just easier to think a little bit about it and come up with ways to make it not happen again. For example, I keep a lot of notes. I like to schedule lots of things, and since I'm a YouTuber, I have to do lots of planning and timing and all that kinds of stuff on my own time. Well, I used to have these little tiny notebook journals where I'd write out my days, weeks, and other ideas. I noticed I kept losing these because I have so many of them, and it started irritating me and actually making me mad and affecting my income. So I started thinking about what I could do, and what I did was I bought 4 huge whiteboards and put them up in my room. Now, I've got one for daily plans, one for weekly plans, one for long-term goals, and the last one is for little ideas I get so I can write them down without forgetting them. I could have kept getting upset at losing those little notes, but instead I've thought of a solution so I wouldn't keep losing my little papers. Number 2 is that the more you network, the easier it gets. I've also noticed that the more you network, the easier life gets. Here's an example that isn't me. A friend of mine recently moved to a large city, and he had dreams of working his way up through careers. He started working at Walmart, then he quit once he got a job offer from a local gym. In fact, the gym loved how he came in and talked to everyone every time he lifted, so they offered him a better paying job and bought him out. Now, this is a wealthier part of town, and since starting that job, he's met tons of entrepreneurs, CEOs, and just interesting people. I went down to visit him one day, and he introduced me to a local VP of a very large bank, who actually offered him a job while I was there. But he's had dinner with at least 6 millionaires, and that's just the benefit of his network opportunities at the gym. Number 3 is joining a group of like-minded people can be one of the most motivating things, unless it's a cult. So for a while I thought I could just grind away at my house and lift at the gym alone to be at the top. Now I realized how much more fun it is and how much easier things seem when I work in groups. I'm kind of an introvert, so this is difficult for me. So something I've recently started with a group of other YouTubers is an online chat room where we share tips, stories, and advice we have in an informal manner, and it's really encouraging to realize that there are other people out there with the same struggles as me. Also, I met a few guys at the gym who have kind of taken me under their wing as a mentee. When I lift, I look forward to seeing the group, learning stuff, and have a new sort of accountability system. The next tip is that first find happiness, then success will come, not the other way around. So it's actually been proven in a couple studies, most notably in the book The Happiness Advantage. Most people think you need to make a lot of money, have a huge house, drive a fancy car, dress nice, stuff like that, and then you will be happy. The truth is, most people who have all of those aren't really that happy. They might have materialistic success, but their emotional cookie jars are empty with cobwebs. They don't optimize their life for happiness, fun, friends. They optimize for business growth and money. And if you find happiness first, I guarantee you will find success in your own terms faster than if you're doing it miserably. Plus, it makes the journey more enjoyable, and honestly, you only have one life. The next thing I've learned is most things take longer than you think. This is something I learned in a few productivity books. Basically, if you think something will take 2 to 3 months, it'll probably take a little bit longer. We are bad at estimating long lengths of time, especially for things we have never done before. A prime example of this is the course I recently launched. Now, most people may not know this, but my very first course was called Habit Harvester, and I actually gave that away for free so that I could get practice creating a course. The second course I created, called The Psychology of Attraction, took much longer. It has over 2 hours of content, actually took 3 to 4 months to create. Between reading 40 specific books on attraction, 8 psychology textbooks, and spending almost a month just watching other courses on body language, texting, relationship psychology, and stuff like that, half the time was just me learning, consuming, and taking notes. And this happens all the time with other projects like building skyscrapers and getting to Mars. Tesla. Also, most things don't take as long as you think when you get started. On the other hand, we grossly overestimate how something will take when it's a smaller project. I think this has to do with our brain trying to come up with ways to justify procrastination. What I found is that small things like doing the dishes, writing a video script, or even finishing homework don't take near as much time as your lazy brain guesses it to be. Another thing I learned is that small changes add up to big changes, so make sure you have a great foundation. In book after book, after you read a bunch of self-help, psychology, and personal development books, you start to catch a trend. One of the biggest ones is that your daily routine matters. Basically, small things you do each day add up. The Compound Effect is a book specifically on this principle. 1 coffee a day can be a lot of money in 10 years. A 10-minute workout after you get up can do a lot in as little as 1 year. And dropping carbonated sugary drinks, well, you can literally see effects in as little as 1 week. Your small daily habits make a big difference on the outcome of your life. So choose wisely and make sure to have a good foundation. Also, passions don't come to you. You chase passions. People are always searching on ways to find their passions. And I used to do that too. Since there are a lot more people in the world now compared to 300 years ago, we finally get to pick what we want to do for a living. And the problem is that most people have no idea what to pick. They start searching frantically for a major or career, and some even opt out to a gap year to find it. The truth is, they aren't going to find it because passions come to you. Passions are things you develop, you grow, the things that find you. Making videos like this wasn't always my passion. In fact, I did it to make some extra money and to help a lot of people. After hundreds of videos though, I start to really appreciate the process, and this passion of helping others through this platform has really developed as well. So stop looking for your passions. Try a whole bunch of things, pick a few you like, and then commit to them. It might be a hobby at first, but after you commit for a while, it will turn into a passion. Another thing I found out is that for me, I should put myself in a position to be competitive. So I found out it's okay to be competitive. For me to grow the most, I should actually put myself in a competitive market. If I'm at a factory doing the same thing for 8 hours a day, I'm definitely not growing and reaching my full potential. The truth is, I'm really freaking competitive. I want to squash all the other YouTube channels like mine, but I also want to see them succeed, because now I'm at the top and there's not very many more people to beat. I'm working on Charisma on Command and I'm about to overtake him, but after that, I won't have an improvement pill to beat, or a fight mediocrity to surpass, in terms of subscribers and views anyways. There are all kinds of metrics you can measure. One of the most important things I learned is that more money means more expenses. So in 2017, I earned more than $70,000 from this big ol' YouTube job. Half of that went to expenses, literally $35,000, and 30% of what was left went to taxes. Yeah, you're right, that is crazy. One thing I've learned from growing this business and slowly growing the back end is that more money usually means more expenses. In a couple years, I'll probably need some lawyers, a full-time accountant, and a larger production team if I want to get to 10 million subscribers. Don't always wish for more money. Wish for the good things that come with money. Freedom, the ability to travel, nicer things in life, less troubles, the ability to take your family on a vacation. Stuff like that. That's what I want, not money. Money's just a tool. Another thing I learned is that I am more confident, motivated, persistent, and happier whenever I exercise regularly. So I originally noticed this without reading books, but I realized it while I was reading a book on the topic of how important exercise is. I've been lifting on and off since high school, but I've noticed a huge boost in my own personal motivation, happiness, and confidence levels when I exercise daily and lift at least 3 times a week. Plus, I noticed I persist easier, I stick to things easier, which is a very valuable self-awareness insight. Something I think you might notice as well. Also, I've noticed I have a purpose when I help people. A lot of the books I've read said that people try to find purpose within themselves, but that a lot of the people who have bulletproof purposes are those who help others out. I've noticed this myself. If I don't get the satisfaction of reading the positive comments people leave, the amazing emails and testimonials for my courses, I probably wouldn't stick with it, honestly. I feel like this is my job though, my duty to keep making videos to help even just one person. I feel like I have an impact with this job, and a majority, if not all of it, is because I help other people. Also, the 80-20 principle. This was life-changing for me. The 80-20 principle is a really simple idea I've actually talked about before, but if you're new, it's this weirdly universal theory that 80% of something is related to 20% of something else. You know, 80% of the carpet you walk on is only 20% of the total floor space, 80% of your profits will come from 20% of your customers, 20% of your customers will make up 80% of the hassles. By utilizing this idea in my own business, I've been able to cut a lot of meaningless work back, focus on what really matters, and it shows in my income and stress levels. A little personal plug here, if you want to learn 80% of certain topics like meditation, money management, stoicism, goal setting, productivity, stuff like that, and 20% of the time it would take you to learn on your own, I am launching a membership group called the Practical Growth Academy. Once you join, you will get weekly animated book summaries, PDF outlines, and actionable worksheets, and you'll also have a monthly mini course to teach you 80% of the topic and 20% of the time in just a couple videos. Also, the shocker here, to join, it's less than the price of a book each month, and you'll really be helping this channel out. Another thing I learned is that the fastest way to learn is to get a mentor. Now, mentors can be books, they can be audiobooks, they can be podcasts, they can be your past mistakes, or people. How did you learn to walk? You watched other humans walk around you. How did you learn English? You learned whatever your native language was by listening to them. How did you learn the concept of math? You watched someone else do it. Learning from someone else is the best way to learn. You can learn from dead authors and live authors by reading books and skip a lot of the headache that they went through. And if it's it's a good book, you'll learn 80% of the topic in 20% of the time it would take you to learn yourself. Mentors are even better because you get live feedback. And before I end this video, I just want to let you guys know about my Practical Growth Academy one more time. Another bonus I'm adding is a weekly live stream on the channel where I personally answer your questions with context. With the knowledge I've gained reading a ton of books and real-world experience of building a 1 million subscriber channel, earning a total of over $100,000 last year, and just the people I've been around, let me be your mentor. Sign up to psychologyofattraction.com or with the links below to get started today before I raise the price. Thank you guys for watching and subscribe for more.